Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Lovely and Lasting or Lovely in Linen Designer Series paper and bundle. So the bundle includes this stamp set, which is clear photopolymer. It has a lot of great sentiments with it. Thank you, happy birthday, thinking of you, best of luck, oh hello, cheers, and then it also has this that just kind of goes around the punch that goes with it. It has this tile piece on the side, and you can kind of imagine using it maybe along the bottom of something. And then these little guys, I'm sorry, I pointed to the wrong place. These little florals can be used within this. Then the other item that is included, if you think of this as a suite, they included the quatrefoil Designer Series embossing folder. It is quatrefoil tile, and so it kind of mimics some of these patterns in the Designer Series paper. So I have used this one already quite a bit, and it's just come out. So I really like it. It's one that doesn't really advance. It's not really, you know, coming at you, so you can kind of almost use it as a background, which is kind of how I like to use these. All right, so let's get started with a few things. Okay, so first I thought I would just show you some papers. So one side of the paper typically has the reds in it and the other side does not. So I don't know if you can see all of these. This one is the pale papaya, but this has the pale papaya in red, pale papaya, sweet sorbet, and then, gosh, I don't know. I think that's the night of navy. I don't think it's the starry sky. And then we have the same here with this nice florals, and then our greens are the soft succulent and the evening evergreen. And then that one's just kind of monochrome. And then this one has white, pale papaya, and the things as well, just kind of a different direction. Then the back side is pretty much all greens and blues. We have a plaid, we have this blue kind of tribal look. We have now these actually look like they have a linen in the background, if that makes sense. It's like a linen kind of, well, I guess you would say that it's within the paper, but it's not, you can't feel it, of course. There we go. This is just kind of the little splotch they've been doing a lot lately. These medallions are really pretty. And then this is just kind of like a directional. And what I think about this back side is almost all of these could be used for a masculine card, like for a happy birthday for a man or something. And this kind of has a masculine look to it as well. You can use it kind of either direction, just to kind of give that. And then of course this side is definitely pretty feminine with floral motifs. All right, so I wanted to just kind of show you several different possibilities with this. So the first thing I did, I actually just had out this little Scotty Dog punch, which is from our newest catalog, which comes out in July, and it's kind of a Christmas theme, and this particular pattern made me think of Christmas as well. So what I wanted to do was just kind of show you a possibility with a Christmas stamp. So, or actually it's just a punch. And then I liked the way that they put the little bow within that stamp. Let me show you it just a second, within the punch. So there you can see it's got both the little dog and the bow. So, and it's super simple to punch. Let me just do one real quick. You just kind of, you always get a bow, in my opinion. You can't do the bow without the dog because of the way that they placed it. But, you know, don't know what I'll do with a black bow. But anyway, that's how you just punch it. It's super simple. And it's it's not super detailed, so it's pretty easy to punch. And then here with this, that's how you can punch this for your, I actually used evening evergreen on this one, but I used the soft succulent for the background. So, you know, kind of your choice on that. And then the next thing I did was just get my Merry Christmas and it comes with that set, comes with a little puppy. And then I just inked it up and stamped it. Oops, didn't quite do a good job there. Let me try again. Okay, that's a little better. Let me get my purple cleaner here, get that all off of there because I'm going to use both sides of my block. There we go. And then close this up. Now, I could have put this on a big piece of paper and that would have been cute, but I kind of just wanted to show you guys that you could leave it squarish and punch with this as well. So let me look at this for just a second. I apologize for the slowdown here. I want to get it kind of even. Let's see, got that side. Okay, I'm just going to call this good. Oh, and then I let it slide to the side. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? The whole punch is not the entire thing. But what I was trying to show you is that you could make it look like this and put that at the bottom. Or you could even do just the part that is inside there. That probably would have been better if I had cut that. And then you would have your little sentiment that's a little bit smaller, on a smaller, you know, maybe this is too big, which I think it is for the Merry Christmas. And then you'd put that at the bottom here. One thing, I don't think we have the Google eyes this year, but I think that just doing this punch and putting just a little Google eye on there is super cute for this little Scotty dog. So you could also instead use a just a shiny, whoops, if I can get it on my finger, just a little rhinestone as an eye as well. That could also be cute. So anyway, I think you can see there that this would be a great way to make a Christmas card if you had this paper and needed that. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you was just a couple here. Now this was not easy. You know, I do this all the time, inking up the whole thing and then taking it off with a blender pen and putting back on my green. I had a little trouble not touching this. So that's just kind of fair warning, I guess, if I can't be a good example here on this one. So you can see there I had a little bit of green get on some of these pale papaya areas. So you'll want to be extra careful. So this is one that I would probably do this, and then I would probably get my also white paper, maybe do a little stamping here. Let's see. Try my little edging piece. Now the chance that I'm going to get this stamped perfectly, I probably should have stamped the sentiment and then stamped the edging. That would have made more sense, but anyway. Okay, let's see. And then I was imagining that I would use the soft succulent for my sentiment. So I thought it would make a good thank you card. Well, it'd make a good anything card, really, but I was just kind of thinking thank you. Okay, let's see here. Definitely should have done that first. Okay, so let me get another piece of paper and we'll do that first. Do my thank you. Okay, so there you can see my thank you, and then I'm going to try again with my pale papaya. Sorry, I wasn't thinking when I planned the order for things. Then I'll get this in pale papaya and stamp right around it. Try to see if I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I think that's reasonable. And then just get my little punch, slide it in, and then get it as even as I can all around and stamp. And then there's your thank you. And then I would probably use, now I don't know if you can see this, this is a very large stamp. I also want to try cutting it out and then layering it on this paper, because I think that would be really gorgeous too. This paper is almost too pretty to cover up. So anyway, with this, I would likely add some of my green, which is soft succulent ribbon, just to kind of have a little more contrast. You could, of course, use the pale papaya, but the soft succulent likely would look a little bit richer. So maybe put that in like that, maybe tie a bow or a tie. So anyway, that's my thought on this particular one. So let me go ahead and cut this so that I can see what I'm doing here. All right, set that over here as well. Oops, I dropped my sentiment. Okay, got it. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get back into this. I have cleaned this off. So now, oh, I was going to show you this too. That's the way that the embossing folder looks, and I think it would be also very pretty with this over it. You can just kind of see a little bit in the background, but probably again cutting it out would be better. This is a really large stamp, and I was kind of surprised at how large it was. So another choice on that one. Let's see here. All right, then the way I did this the first time was I inked all of the stamp, and I didn't try to not put it in, I tried to put it everywhere. So what I'm doing this time instead is I'm just trying to ink up the pieces because I'm matching this. I want it to only be these little pieces here, and then I want to make the red one red. So I'm not worrying about the red so much, but definitely I'll want to clean off from the green. Okay, so what I have here is my, let's see here. There we go. My blender pen, and I'm cleaning off all the places that I went with the yellow that I don't necessarily want to be. Don't want any on my leaves or on this the little bud area. Clean that off. There. Okay, so I think I've mostly got that. So then I'm ready to try with my green marker. I'm going to go ahead and do this first because since that's where I ended up getting the green was on this big piece, I'm going to do it with my marker last. So here I am with my soft succulent. And with this one, I did the little bud because that's the way it is on here. They actually used evening evergreen, but I wanted to use the soft succulent, so I did that on the little bud. Then I'm going to go ahead and do these leaves down here for the larger flower or larger blossom. And then I'm going to do these leaves here, trying to be really careful. We'll see, I don't know. There we go, and then there's some leaves right up here. Okay, so now looking again at this right here, the main color is the Sweet Sorbet, but it also has some Flirty Flamingo. So I kind of wanted to try to put some Flirty Flamingo in the center and see how I liked that. Okay, I'm going to do both centers in Flirty Flamingo. Wow, there is a piece of torn up something on top of there. Glad I saw that before I stamped it. It probably would have messed it up. I think it's probably from my stamp case. I probably was too aggressive with it and got a little piece of plastic on it. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going back in, whoops, wrong end, with my Sweet Sorbet. So then my goal here is to just kind of get it all around. Now you do, one thing that's different with this than for me anyway, when I use the markers on the red rubber, I don't have any trouble with streaks, but occasionally I do get streaks on the, like in this case, on the petals or on the image when I'm using this, but I try not to worry about it. And then I also will use my blender pen and that same color of ink to fix it. So if, as you're doing this, sometimes also, you need to huff on it right before you stamp it, and that can also cause it to kind of make little bubbles in the ink, just from where it kind of condensates, of course, because you're blowing on it as, yeah, that's why you're doing it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with this one. So now I am ready to do some huffing on this to re-moisten the ones that I did earlier. All right, so now I'm ready to stamp this down. Okay, so there you can see what I'm talking about. But it's just kind of got a little bit of lining. Let's see, I'll lift it up where you can see it there. It's just kind of got a little bit of not so smooth areas. So what I like to do on that is to just put some ink that somewhat matches. Maybe it's, okay, let's use this one because that's what I had done earlier with the green. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the green. And I used, instead of using the soft succulent, I used instead the evening evergreen because I thought I could put in some like extra texture, extra color by using it instead. So just kind of going over, it's kind of like a little bit of coloring here. And if you don't like coloring, you could use it just as it is. It's totally fine. I just like my images to be a little bit smoother when I do this. There we go. And you could spend more time on this, of course, and kind of get, it's like adding more color, but it's less texture. And I've got a red spot right there, so I'm trying to kind of cover it up with my evening evergreen. And then just kind of evening up some of these stems, adding a little more dark color there. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that off and call that good on the evening evergreen. I also think that the pale papaya looks pretty good as it is, but I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add some more of my sweet sorbet and my Flirty Flamingo. So now I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo and just kind of smooth out some of these areas. And you certainly, this is not something that you would have to do. And you could probably clean this up a little bit, use some, do it against your jeans, and probably have it look even smoother. So that kind of darkened and deepened the color of the Flirty Flamingo. And now I'm ready to go back in with my sweet sorbet and just kind of, because also I find that it has kind of a linen look, which I mean they are going for. It's not a super smooth thing, but I like to just kind of get it a little more vibrant. And that's what using this blender pen will do for you. It'll get it a little more vibrant. Okay. I'm gonna have to get a lot more of the sweet sorbet before I consider myself finished. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of put this here and try to finish just the one that I'm doing right here. So there you can see how I will go around and kind of just even them all up and make things look brighter. Okay, and then the next thing that I have to do, of course, is just work on cutting that out and layering it onto my background and my sweet sorbet. And I don't think you want to watch me do that because it's a little much, but anyway, you can see there that would be pretty easy to do. It would also look gorgeous if I just put it on this monochrome sort of color. That would make it even pop even more, where it's just mostly the red. It would look good on blue even, or this one. Oh, look how pretty that would be. And then this one, some of these kind of have a 4th of July kind of look to me. They're so nice and bright. So like this one, I could see you could play up some of the other colors and the pale papaya just would kind of fade away. So lots of different choices in the papers with this set. So we did this one, and then we did the thank you card with the, and I'll do the other as a birthday as well, with the pretty ribbon that matches, and then the under color, the under, if I can get it out, there we go, the pretty pattern of pale papaya. And then we also did the little Merry Christmas, where we'll use the smaller piece of paper than the size of the punch, just to make another way to use the punch. So I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.